The last one is prayer. So, like prayer, obviously, in this situation, number one, like the verse says, pray at all times in the Spirit with every prayer and request, and stay alert with all perseverance and intercession for all the saints. So it's that was kind of the position I was coming from was okay, being alert and praying. And then the reason Paul says is so that you can stand guard, right? So that you can provide perseverance and lean into the needs of your friends and your family and community that need you to stand. Because the first question is, what is alertness like on the battlefield?
I love this topic. I think there's a million ways to take it. Like, for example, just something that you just said that really it kind of gives you perspective is we're talking about your armor, shoes on your feet, the helmet on your head. And then as you move into this, what you're really talking about is you are the armor. Because if you're a sentry or a sentinel or a guard, you're the last line of defense for whatever's behind you. In this case, the gospel or those that believe it. But you become the armor. You and all those like you become the shield. When you move it into alertness, what we call that is vigilance, staying vigilant. And staying vigilant has this, it's like that thing you remind yourself, because vigilance is the opposite of complacency. And in the military, we say complacency kills. The complacency is simply being so comfortable with how things are in this moment that you forget to consider what could happen next. I just read a book called With the Old Breed by Eugene Sledge, a Southern Alabama guy that was a war hero of the Pacific Islands. And one of the first stories he tells in his book is they all get in their foxholes and they're on the front. I believe they're on Peleliu against the Japanese. And the duty in your foxhole, it's you and one other man. One of you stays away while the other gets rest. You can only sleep if you have full faith and confidence in your buddy to have your back. You stay vigilant and aware. And then there's what that represents, if you're doing your job right, is that all those that you're protecting or staying vigilant for, or that thing you're staying vigilant for, has full faith in you. So it's not just an exercise in practicality, it's also an exercise in faith.
What role do dads play in providing that armor or protection?
Yeah. I love you said providing armor or protection. I often say that my job as a father and a husband is to provide and protect. Now, I think that what that looks like can vary from one father and husband to another. Like, it's not some expression of bravado. It's not like I always need to have a gun on my side or go to the gym. It's more about provide and protect whatever our family is vulnerable in and whatever. So for my kids, that provide and protect may mean to teach them a lesson that they can go use for their armor. It might be to be there when they make mistakes so that they learn from it. The only way you can provide in the intangible sense is setting by example. Setting by the example may mean that when I do something that breaks a rule that we have, I own up to it in front of my son so that he knows. It's not just about always following the rules, but recognizing when we make mistakes.
That integrity.
Mm-hmm. And, listen, none of us are perfect. I'm certainly not. Those are my responsibilities. It doesn't mean that I'm executing them 100%. But, thankfully, we live in a world and believe in a God where salvation and mercy and forgiveness is a part of it. Sometimes our mistakes have consequences, and that's maybe due to the original sin. I don't know. But it's the life we live, and it's where we are. And it's how we handle those consequences that matter so much.